an hour. Sometimes I'm paid between $1,000 to $5,000 an hour. No one's ever going to pay me $5,000 an hour unless I did what? I had to learn some skills. I had to stop crashing. If I'm locked up, is anybody going to pay me $5,000 an hour locked up? No. So does that make sense? It has to be in a language they care about. They're listening when you speak to them like that. Girls, money, better food. You know, I said, what food are you going to eat? You're going to eat whatever food's in front of you. Everybody with me? It has to be in a language they care about. It cannot be in Christian Moore's language. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. They don't care about my world. Does that make sense? The things I'm accessing in my world, it's not even a possibility to them in their world right now. Does that make sense? They're not even on the... They're in a complete different frame of reference where they are. So long story short, my own background, where this came out of, I'm going to give you a Reader's Digest version here, because several of you have heard me speak before, right? All right. I don't want to kill the people who have heard me speak, but in a nutshell, I get the opportunity to speak to almost 100,000 educators a year because I got a master's degree in social work with a 6th grade math level, a 7th grade reading and writing level. Guess how many kids in America who are in special education get a master's degree right now? Anybody know the illiteracy rate in prison right now? 70% of inmates are illiterate in America's prison system. Over 80% of the adult prison population in America has learning disabilities. So only 2% of my peers in special ed get a bachelor's degree, and 0.5%, not even 1%, get a master's degree. So statistically, I had a better chance of playing the NBA and becoming Michael Jordan than stand up here right now and talking to you all today. So if I get a little fired up in the next hour and a half, it's because 99.5% of my peers in special education don't get the opportunity to receive a master's degree. Does it shock anybody? The one thing that's very common amongst gang members, substance abuse problems, learning disability issues, dual diagnosis issue there. Very, very common. I go to gang conferences, I hear gang experts all across the country. Guess how many times I hear them mention learning disabilities? Almost never. I don't see it in any of the literature I look up on it, but it is one extremely, extremely common issue. A long story short, I grew up in between Baltimore and Washington, D.C. My mom got married really, really young, had me and an older sister. My mom got a divorce. She met a man who had 6 kids, whose wife just left him with 6 kids, meets my mom, and they have 4 more kids, a total of 12 kids. My mom had social phobia, anxiety disorder, didn't want to leave the house too much, wasn't a lot of food to eat in my house growing up. Pickles, olives, and tuna fish. I'm going to write a cookbook one day, 101 ways how to eat those 3 things. My dad was a GS-16 code breaker at the National Security Agency. Anybody know what that means? GS-16 code breaker at the National Security. That's the highest level spy that you can become. I'm going to write a book one day, Son of Spy. And the reason why he went to work for them is he's one of the top mathematical geniuses in the world. You can give him